Hi, Darren West from Prosper Health Collective. Today, I'm talking about the signs of bullying. Bullying is obviously something that we are familiar with at school. There's a lot of work done on bullying and everything else, but you know what? It doesn't just necessarily stop at school. We can sometimes experience bullying throughout our entire life. I suppose the question with all this, what is the definition of bullying? I suppose bullying is seen as the ongoing sort of behaviours or intimidations or actions of a person on someone else to cause them harm and everything else. So this is sort of ongoing actions, to intimidate or abuse of power in relationships to cause the other person harm. And so, these sorts of behaviours can be seen in many different lights. And it could be that, verbal and physical abuse could be seen as, bullying behaviours, which are perhaps more obvious ones, but there are sort of less obvious ones around as well. These include gossiping, uh, gaslighting, sort of excluding, not sort of inviting people along and everything else. So ways in which sort of, to cause intimidation or to harm another person, and the impact on this on individuals over a long period of time, if this has been happening on an ongoing basis, can be quite significant. It does impact their social well-being, it impacts their confidence, and may lead to sort of depression, anxiety, social anxiety, even panic attacks. Certainly for myself, I find that often trauma, bullying can have trauma reactions. Trauma is focusing on three areas. Hypervigilance, in which we become more sort of aware and fearful of our surroundings. Avoidance, in which we sort of try to avoid the trauma or avoid going to school or avoid going to work and things that we particularly enjoy. And then certainly intrusive memories. So trauma involves sort of playing over certain memories in our mind over and over again. And all of these three things, these trauma related sort of symptoms, can be seen in bullying. And I suppose it's important to realise, perhaps if you are concerned or you're not quite sure, maybe it's somebody in your workplace or in your family being bullied, what are some of the signs to look out for? What are some of the things that you perhaps need to be aware that perhaps there may be something going on for this person that perhaps you weren't sure of before? And certainly with this, as I mentioned before in regard to trauma-related responses, there may be all of a sudden this idea that, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to work, or certainly there's a decline in their behaviours and motivations and even their schoolwork or work performance happening for them. Some of the things also you need to be sort of be aware of is perhaps there's a change in their eating patterns. They are no longer sort of eating, they're sort of skipping meals, so there's a loss of interest, or perhaps it could even go the other way, where they're starting to binge eat or stress eat in a different sort of capacity. They're perhaps more sort of socially isolated. They're not sort of engaging in or doing activities that they once used to enjoy. There could be, feeling sort of nauseous, sort of feeling sick, often all the time, just an overall feeling of nervousness, keeping to themselves, and maybe certainly in the work practice, having sort of sick days, more time off in lieu, cancelling plans and everything else. So certainly there are signs that are available if somebody is experiencing bullying, and it's important to keep an eye out on these just to keep track of seeing and how they're going. And I think the most important thing is, if you are concerned, whether it's a child or an adult, you know, one of the best things to do is keep the lines of communication open. Regularly keep in contact, ask them how they're going and how things are going, And certainly, if it is quite chronic or it is sort of significantly impacting their behaviours, it may be worth them sort of going to the next step in relation to sort of managing these sorts of what they're experiencing, or how to manage the symptoms that they're experiencing, because it can be quite impactful, and it can be quite common. It's not something that sort of, as I said before, stops at school. It can keep going throughout our entire life. So just wanted to sort of talk about that today. Just, if you are concerned about someone, keep in contact with them, be aware of the sort of some of the signs that I spoke a little bit earlier, and hopefully, if they're needing professional help, for them to sort of be able to sort of ask for assistance in that regard. So that's it for today. Signs of bullying. Hopefully you got something out of it, and until next time, I look forward to speaking to you all soon. All right, take care.